Welcome back to my channel. I'm happy you're here and happy you're listening and happy you're tuning in from wherever you are in the world. Today's video is going to be interesting because it will dive deep into topics such as self-worth, how to find yourself in the midst of the whole world, trying to escape yourself. And there was a point in my life where I didn't really like the way of my being, and I was trying to change myself for someone else. Often around the world, trying to change ourselves so that we can please the people around us. And let me tell you what that did for me for years, trying to please, trying to go outside of myself and look for success, love outside of me. While that wasn't really helping, there was a moment of snapping back to those times when I was mistreating myself in ways that is even, not even good for me. While in the moment I would think that's the greatest choice I can make, but later in the years I realized how destructive it has been. And why I'm sharing this, because I feel like there's a lot of women out there, or just in general people, who are looking for validation from people around them. And when they're not meeting their expectations, they get to be upset, and they would beat themselves to a point where they think by doing something hard enough, that means it's success, and they will be skyrocketing to wherever they want to be, right? So let me just have my sip of coffee. In most cases, when I've tried to externally change myself, there was a part of me that was resisting the change that I was becoming. And you would see that resistance come up or show up in relationships or in places in life where you are maybe not expecting it. But really, this worthiness is not something that someone should tell you that you are worthy of it or you're worthy of great things, but you are who you are because of what you've become. And I don't really like to go into the past and dig into things that have made my self-esteem worse, or that led me to a place where I'm just questioning every single thing about myself. So a part of what I want you to consider is having awareness. And what that awareness looks like is journaling every single day, or I could write down a series of questions that I'm curious to know about myself, instead of asking someone, hey, what do you think about this? There's a difference between having feedback or getting feedback from others and looking inwards for answers. Because I'm a person who's very in touch and intuitive, I tend to sense when things are off and when things feel true to me in the moment. So with setting boundaries and having this depth of thought, that how much can I care? How much can I care for people when I'm abandoning what I'm really feeling within? And slowly this leads to having low self-esteem. People would walk over you. You wouldn't really have that, sense of groundedness in your truth. I think for years I struggled to speak up, and that not have led me only to put down opportunities that were really good for me in the moment, but it caused me to resent all the good opportunities and all the things that I wasn't really seeing, because I was in this frame, in this mindset of, it's not going to work for me, or this is really not for me. What did I do to deserve something good? So I would keep questioning, I would keep thinking, I would keep going back and forth between feeling shame about sharing my story, and that really made me feel dreadful. Things like reading books or picking up a podcast episode, a book like this one. Um, I really love this author, and she talks about so many different life lessons that really, when I read it, I'm just like blown off. One of it to be, don't take things personally, right? And sometimes it's really not about yourself because everyone is in their own bubble, everyone is in their own world. So it's really not on you to fix anything um and you don't deserve to blame yourself for things that you haven't done. We often do that as humans, or if you're an empath watching this, you would know that you pick on energies, feelings, and you tend to associate it with yourself. What you end up doing then, you'll compare, you'll criticize, put down yourself, shame yourself in ways that you are not aware. It just almost happens subconsciously. Subconsciously, that could look like, putting a job offer because there is a deep belief that I don't deserve a good job, or I don't deserve good salary. So why care so much about what they think when there are so much things you can learn and so many skills you can be creative with? So there are things like when you pick up a skill of learning an instrument, a musical instrument, you would mess up many times, again and again. But at the end, you're probably going to catch it up. You're probably going to, your fingers are going to roll through the piano keys, right? Or the guitar strings. So it's all about the attempts that you're making and how committed you are. So if you're committed to growth and learning about yourself, a good way, or the way that I started, is really educating myself and becoming aware what's within, like what's my inner world like. Because when you know your inner world, you would know what things to look out for in the outside world. But it's always about an inward journey. It's never, hey, give me validation, or I need someone's approval for something. Because you have your own self to know what you like and what you don't like. For example, setting boundaries, saying things like, I don't like this, when you really don't. And there's absolutely no shame in that. Although when I'm talking about these things and topics, it does bring up some memories of days when I didn't speak up, of times when I didn't speak up, because I'm not perfect and nobody is perfect. But when you're becoming aware, you can shift that mental chatter and the mindset that you have about yourself. Although everything goes in the world through energy, there is also what you think and how your thoughts are being projected onto the world. Because even if you don't powerfully say something, if you really truly believe it and your whole body believes it, it will more likely to manifest because you're thinking it, you're feeling it, you're magnifying it every day, you're thinking about that thought. So it becomes bigger and bigger and bigger, and it expands. So it's not how can I shut the thoughts and the things I'm telling myself. It's how can I become aware of them to then notice the patterns that are happening, the patterns that I'm conditioned in, the patterns that are repeating itself, even when I'm not noticing, but because I have become so familiar with it that I cannot see something different, or I cannot believe something different. So it's what you recondition, what you really say to yourself every single day impacts the way that you see yourself in 3 months, in 2 weeks from now. So really listen into that. All the things that you're telling yourself. And one technique that really helped me is tapping So if you haven't ever heard of that before, it's called emotional freedom tapping. So you tap into the meridian parts of your body. It's in the temples, the side of your eye, under your nose, under your chin, here, and your collarbone area, and then just beneath your arms. Keep tapping there and the top of your head and keep affirming to yourself whatever it is that you're going through right now in life, whether it's dealing with a loss, whether you're having a hard time to discover what you want, maybe get into healthy relationships, um, and maybe a healthy lifestyle, whatever it may be, tapping into those meridian parts of the body and affirming every single day that this is who you are instead of going by unconsciously repeating the patterns and repeating things about yourself that you have believed maybe 5 years ago, but you're still noticing it's repeating itself. This is why people are not changing, is because they're living the same life every day with the same thoughts, with the same feelings, same habits. There's no break in the pattern. They're living the same life every day, even if they're going to a new place, because wherever you are, there you are. Wherever you go, there you are. So there's no change really, because it's not happening. The change is not happening in words. It's not internal change, but it's outside change. So, outside change can look like changing clothes, maybe wearing something nice, maybe going to a new place, traveling. These are all forms where you think that when I get it, when I'm that, I'm going to be happy with who I am. But really, these things actually follow you along in every part of your life until you um, until you really point out and know what's happening in words. Unless you speak it out and really be brave to see what's holding you back and what are some things you're holding yourself back from, because that also something that can give you really great data about where you are in life. And I'll be sharing more and more about those topics, and the women that relate to this, I have been there, and it's really a tough journey, but a way to get to the other side is to stand in your truth and not be ashamed of being yourself. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this video and some useful tips that you can grasp from this, maybe. And I truly believe in the power of change and how you can change in 3 months and 10 months from now. Because it all starts with a choice, and how committed are you towards your journey, and how serious are you about yourself? Because that's where change starts, when you say enough is enough and you begin a journey of truth instead of faking your life all the way. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. Give me a thumbs up. That means a lot to me. And give me feedback in the comments how you think this went, what you took away from it, what was helpful, and where are you in life? Where are you watching from? Where are you tuning from? I'd be really curious to know. And like always, live with love, live with truth, and I will meet you in the next video. Bye now.